Night, on a friend of Ayesha's birthday, Ayesha had to walk to her friend's house in order to arrive to the party. However, as she says in her story, I didn't know a young man was there. In the empty home, he took advantage of me. She was raped by this man, and the man left, leaving her pregnant. Ayesha later took him to court. However, the jury decided that he was innocent because he had apologized earlier. In Pakistan, many females are subjected to having less rights than males. Women and girls' voices are hushed, and their rights are not protected by the government. According to the website Pakistani Women's Human Rights Organization, women are subjected to domestic violence and rape, with no consequence for the abusers. They are often sprayed with acid and are condemned to honor killings, in which a family member, generally a woman, is killed because they have done something that dishonors the family. Women's rights are clearly disrespected, and they are forced to marry someone they do not wish to marry. The rights of women are not valued at all. The only people who seem to value women's rights are activist groups and the women themselves. Women in Pakistan are heavily impacted by the violation of their rights, in which they cannot be safe alone on the streets without having to be on watch for people who could do harm to them. Pakistan has done a variety of things in order to address the lack of rights towards women. According to the article, History of Women Empowerment in Pakistan, by the Pakistan Council for Science and Technology, Pakistani women were granted the suffrage under the Pakistan Ordinance in 1947, and the rights to vote was reaffirmed in 1956 under the interim constitution. The Muslim Family Law Ordinance in 1961 codified the rights of women bestowed by the Islamic law. The Hudud Ordinance in 1979 repealed laws for sexual offenses according to injunctions of Islam and had a negative impact on women's rights. From 1977 to 1986, women's rights increased. A cabinet of the Women's Division was established. The appointment of Commission on the Status of Women happened. A chapter on women in development was included for the first time in the 6th Plan. And in 1981, 20 women were inducted as members of the Majlis-e-Shura, Parliament of Pakistan. However, a process of Islamization was initiated through discriminatory legislation against women. Women were banned from participating and from being spectators of any kind of sport. And Purdah was promoted. Purdah is the practice of women dressing in clothes that fully envelop their bodies in order to hide themselves from strangers or other men. All fundamental rights guaranteed in the Constitution of 1973, including the right to be free of discrimination on the basis of sex, were suspended, leaving women again with no rights. In 1997, the Nawaz Sharif government proposed the 15th Amendment. However, the amendment was discriminatory against women and was strongly opposed by women, human rights activists, and opposition political parties. The amendment ended up being passed anyways. The voices were ignored. On September 2004, the Ministry of Women Development was established in an independent ministry. In late 2006, the Pakistani Parliament passed the Women's Protection Bill. This repealed a few of the Hudud ordinances. Over time, people's attitude towards women in Pakistan have not changed. According to the Pakistan website called Changing Attitude Towards Women by the Express Tribune, the men who lived there always had the same social and cultural attitude towards women. They saw and still see women as prizes, as a carrier of their future generations and their prize to brag about, instead of seeing them as a respected woman who is powerful just like all the men who can make the same decisions. Overall, women in Pakistan have not had rights for a long time, since the beginning of Pakistan, in fact. The government of Pakistan believes that the country cannot make progress without giving women the equal opportunities and the equal rights as men have. The leader of Pakistan, Nawaz Sharif, who is the state party to the Convention on Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, CEDAW, lead the government so that women's rights become as they are envisioned in the CEDAW. Nawaz Sharif has also started Prime Minister's Youth Loan to help build better and brighter futures for the youth of the future, and to help encourage women to set up their own businesses and allow them to have equal rights. According to the website named Woman by the Leadership Conference, Some of the policies that could be potentially helpful in Pakistan are the Equal Pay Act. This gives women the same amount of pay that men acquire at work. The Civil Rights Act of 1991 in the US would be important in Pakistan because it would help victims of rape and of job discrimination have justice and have the law back them up. A group that has risen and rallied in order to try to protest against the way that women are treated and try to get women equal rights as men is a large group of female students. However, this rally is not very successful because it is easily ignored and easily put down by the government. An example of an organization trying to help women and girls is the Malala Fund. According to the Malala Fund, Quality Secondary Education for All Girls, the Malala Fund aids Pakistani women by providing education to them and raising awareness to people of the situation in Pakistan. This organization cannot be put down and is successful because it includes other countries' help and donations from them too. Pakistan should accept help from other countries in order to establish a better government that gives them the chance to give both genders equal rights. Pakistan should listen to women's voices and listen to what they ask for and what rights they want to have. They should incorporate women in their voting and in the government so that the government is not biased by only men and so that it has a representative of the people who suffer the most, women. Pakistan should also make new policies for itself and should follow in the footsteps of another country that has equal rights for both men and women. One example of a country that they could take in is the United States. The claims that I have made are highly achievable if the government of Pakistan works forward and really tries to give women the same rights. The recommendations I suggested are realistic because they are actions that can be easily accomplished and have been previously done by other nations. Thank you.